One more thing, Vic. I think before we end, we have to touch on the topic of the seat licenses with the Bills Stadium. I know our news team here at Channel 2 has done some great reporting on it this week, talking with season ticket holders that I guess you could say are encountering sticker shock when they go and find out how much those seat licenses are for the new Bills Stadium. Just for our audience, can you explain maybe what the process is with these seat licenses, why teams with these new stadiums are going with the route of these PSLs, and just what your take on the whole situation is?
Yeah, seat licenses have been around for a while. They actually originated at the college level and then were adopted by the pros. And the basic cause or reason for them is to help offset the cost, the private cost of building a new stadium. You get public money involved, and in some places there's more public money than others. In Buffalo in particular, there is more public money, a smaller market than, say, Los Angeles, where Stan Kroenke financed the largest portion, and also the Chargers as being part of that because they're the other team that plays there, but Stan Kroenke funding the largest portion of SoFi Stadium. We don't have a situation like that here. So taxpayer money accounts for the majority of the $1.7 billion that is earmarked to be the price tag of the new Highmark Stadium. But the money that is in the overage and the private side of the contribution, meaning from Terry Pegula, from the Bills, this is where the seat license funds come into play. Basically, taking the one-time payment to own, to have the right to buy a seat. It's not the price of the seat, it's the right to buy a seat, and then scaling that. And that's where I think people are going to have their biggest problems. Number one, seat license as a whole, that whole concept is new to this market. So there was always going to be some level of sticker shock regardless of the price. But when you see at the highest end, and that's where that 50,000 a seat situation came into play when you were dealing with suites and club seats at the highest end, that number leaking out, that's where you start to say, wow, okay, then what happens with my seat, say that's not in a suite or in a club area, it's just in the general bowl of the stadium. It'll be significantly less than that, but there'll still be a price on it. And I think the other problem, and we've heard the politicians sound off on this, Mark Poloncarz in particular, is a lack of transparency. That he understands, as we all do, that the Bills can put whatever price tag they want on it. It's a private business, and they have customers who buy their tickets or buy their seat license, and you're going to not prevent them from doing it. You're going to just decide whether or not you want to pay the price. But what is the price? And why is there such a cloud around it? And it raises the thought that you're trying to maybe pull something over on people, giving them little time or no time to really prepare for what they're going to have to pay for. This is a major investment for a whole lot of people. This is not to be trivialized. You're talking about financing that's necessary to pay these numbers, financing that's made available to make it easier on the customer, but nonetheless financing. And we haven't even gotten into the actual cost of the tickets when this new stadium opens. And you know it's going to be significantly higher than what you're paying now for those seats that have already gone up in price. And they're just not going to get any lower. They're going to be, I think, extremely high for the market, which has always been one of the lower priced tickets in the entire NFL. But add that to the seat license, to all your game day costs of parking and refreshments and everything else. The expensive outing is going to, I think, change the dynamic of your crowd. I think you're pricing out a lot of people already. They know it before they even have their opportunity to see whether or not they want to buy seats for this place. But then the whole idea that there are, 10,000 or more fewer seats than in the current Highmark Stadium. So smaller place, lesser availability, higher prices. And when it's all said and done, what are you able to be a part of? Are we talking about a Bills team that is one of the very best in the NFL, that's continually going to contend for Super Bowls. You would think that that will be the case as long as Josh Allen is the quarterback, but trying to look into the future is another element to this that isn't overlooked. I mean, people are considering that. What kind of product do you get in 2026? Because there's no guarantee that it's going to be great. It might be. It might be the greatest thing that you have to have a ticket for, but who knows?